Let's see. Can y'all see me? There we go. It popped up. So how is everybody doing today? Cameron's here with me. He wanted to be in a video, so I said he could. Where's Stevie? Come here, Stevie. Fat cow dog. There's my fat dog. He's a good dog. Okay, let's see what kind of questions we've got to say. Lena said, I want to say I learned a lot from your videos. Oh, I'm glad y'all learn a lot from my videos. It definitely makes it fun whenever, you know, I have such a great group of people who support us. And it's really crazy. We just hit 98,000 subscribers. So woohoo! Woohoo! See, Stevie's even excited. So let's see. Let's see. How do we go about this? Okay. I'm glad you got the Easy Weeding Wooden Pick. It really, really is the most amazing tool. And I have tried a little bit of everything. Even Cameron can use it, huh, Bubba? So I wanted to go ahead and show y'all because whenever you look at the pictures on the website, sometimes it doesn't show up how beautiful the vinyls are. The bunny shirt that I was wearing the other day came from Baubles and Bliss. They're linked in the description box, but that shirt is actually sold out. Now, if you purchase off of the link in the description box, I do earn a small commission, but I purchase, if it's a shirt that I didn't make, a lot of times it came from there or Target, because I go through clothes. Like, I mean, I have so much stuff. It's not even funny. See, there's the floral foil. I'm wearing the shirt that we made the other day, but see how pretty that is? It just doesn't show up when you see the little swatches of it. It's so hard to be able to tell what it actually looks like. But we got in some new prints, and we have some more coming in, so I wanted to go ahead and show you those. Okay, so this is the silver leopard print, and the silver is actually metallic. Now, it's hard to see on here, but it is absolutely gorgeous. We also got in the gold leopard print, which I can't wait to play with that. I'm going to be doing a shirt soon with that, and the black. These are all from the Deco Film Soft Metallic line. That is like my new go-to vinyl for everything because I love the way it feels. And then we also got in the new Rainbow Galaxy stripe. So I'm going to unroll this so you can see how beautiful that is. It has holographic pieces in it. I can't wait to play with that. And I have, here, Cameron, take Stevie. And we have the cheetah, plaid, snake, one that's called fuzzy coming in. And we also have two of the camos. We've got the earth tone camo and the rainbow camo coming in. Let's see. Okay, so you didn't have a good sturdy surface. So a lot of times, depending on what you're using with it, you can use, like, if you're just using like a plain iron, maybe the upside down part of a metal bowl will give you something sturdy to press on. It kind of just depends on what you're using to press it with. Lakeland, Florida. I can't wait to be in Florida again, which we will be there in September. I'm nervous, though, about California. It's been a long time since I haven't been to California since my husband was in the Navy and he was stationed in Lemoore, California, which to me, it's a little bit weird because Lemoore, California is in the middle of California. It's not too far from Death Valley, and there's no water anywhere near it, but there was a Navy base there. Yes, I love my Texas shirt. It's so pretty. And I love this mustardy color. And mustard and olive green and corals are like everything to me right now. Thinking about putting decals on stainless steel mugs. Should I use HTV or regular vinyl? Well, if you use HTV, and like I said in my video I did yesterday, you have to play with it. One, if you have a mug press, you got to play with your settings, making sure it can actually fit in there and get a good enough pressure. Adhesive is always going to be easier to work with when you're working with a cup, but that is completely up to you. Let's see, British Columbia, Canada. Oh, awesome. My son, Cameron, he loves Canada. He keeps saying that he wants to move there when he's bigger. You want to tell him your Canada joke?
No, I'm good.
He's going to be a little bashful. No, they both, it just depends on how you care for them. They both last a long time depending on care. Like, I have one sitting right here. This is HTV, or no, is this adhesive or is this HTV? This is HTV on this one. And as you can see, I mean, it's still on there, but it just kind of depends on, and I put HTV for this one is because they don't have a glitter that looks like that in adhesive. But it kind of just depends on what you're doing. Sorry for the blurriness. So it just kind of depends on what you're doing. Yes, and we are going to be, as you can see, what I'm kind of doing with the tutorials is we're kind of going back to basics. And I'm doing, like I just did the Cricut video with the offset shadows. So next will be, tomorrow we'll probably be doing the silhouette video with the offset drop shadow. And then we'll do it on the Brother Scan and Cut. So what we're going to be doing is taking and building on the basics, starting small and then keep growing. And we're going to go in order and do each machine. So that way, what is the reason? So that way you can make sure you have the right piece. So you don't delete out the wrong piece whenever you're getting rid of things if you're doing drop shadow. I just always duplicate it because that way, if you mess something up, you can always start over. Yes. Okay. So that's my problem with Caesar Easy Weed is that it does wrinkle, but you can iron over it, but iron from the back side. That's the best way to get the wrinkles out of that. Yes. Well, I'm glad you're a Navy wife. Tell your husband thank you for his service. We definitely appreciate it. We are a Navy family. My husband's brother was an Air Force guy, but Navy has a place in my heart. Let's see. What brand of t-shirts would you recommend that are true to size? I bought Next. Okay, so the thing with like Next Level and Bella and Canvas versus like Fruit of the Loom or Gildan is a lot of times the Next Level and the Bella and Canvas are a little bit slimmer cut or more athletic cut. Now they're still a unisex shirt, but you have to think about how they fit. They're not going to shrink like a lot of times when you wash a Gildan shirt, how it'll shrink. So I don't think that they run really small. I typically, at this point, since I've lost weight, I'm in a unisex small in the Bella and Canvas. But I like that they're a little bit trimmer through the midsection because I am bustier on top. So I like things to fit a little closer to the body, like through my waist and stuff like that, because if things hang off my chest, then I look bigger than what I am. But yes, they are smaller. I mean, you can take and hold them up, but it's just on how they're made. I will definitely tell my husband that. Let's see, what else do we have? What is your favorite brand of HTV vinyl? Well, Specialty Materials makes Thermoflex Plus, all the Glitter Flex Ultras, the Deco Film Soft Metallics. To me, they have the best range and line of colors, and they seem to hold up really well. That's part of the reason why that is pretty much all we're using at this point on the channel. Caesar's not a bad vinyl. It's just I don't like how it washes, and I don't like that it's not a true matte finish. So that's my personal opinion on it. Which HTV should I use that won't wrinkle? Okay, so with HTV, depending on how you apply it, how you wash it, those types of things, sometimes it will wrinkle. I mean, it just will happen. But I feel like the Thermoflex does not wrinkle as bad, and I'm sure other people can tell you the same things. Like, it just washes better to me. But if I have an issue with anything wrinkling, like if I have a shirt that has a lot of vinyl on it and I put it and fold it up, to get the wrinkles out, I just take my home iron it from the backside, or if I'm at home, I throw it in the dryer to release those wrinkles. Yes, Cameron's a good kid. That's my baby. But he's not talking very much today. No. Okay, so I have a whole video on washing shirts. So you can look it up in my channel. But no, I do not wash shirts beforehand. Part of the thing is whenever you wash a shirt beforehand, especially if it has fabric softener on it, it can mess with the adhesion of the vinyl. So never, ever, ever wash your shirts before you take and put your vinyl on your shirts. Let's see. As I said, specialty material, Caesar's good. Not a big fan of the Cricut vinyl. I still have some stuff that I'm going to like purchase like at Joann's and Hobby Lobby and stuff to test out to see how they do it. Do I do a lot of knockout designs? It kind of depends on the mood and what I'm wanting to make. Like the home shirt is a knockout design because that's the shirt showing through, but it kind of just depends on what I'm doing. Oh, so you're the one who sent me the calendar. Well, thank you, Janice. It was very, very sweet of you. I didn't know where it came from. It got opened and then handed to me. But yes, I do love that calendar. Oh, and while we're on it, I was going to go ahead and announce the winners, which I have already messaged Dawn on Facebook because she was the Facebook winner, and which is Dawn Meehan, and she's already responded. And Sharon Sears is the winner from YouTube. So once Sharon messages me, we will take and get her basket done. But we're going to do tutorials while we decorate the baskets and the little stuffed animals to go in it. Let's see. I read on Walmart brand George shirts that you should not use any iron-on, but have already used it and haven't had a problem yet. Have you used this brand? No, but I have bought some of like the No Boundary brand, like the ladies cut shirt, because a lot of times they're super cheap at Walmart, $4 and $5 each, and put vinyl on them with no issue. So it kind of just depends. And maybe with those George brands, it could be that they have dye migration. So it kind of just depends on what you're wanting to do. Let's see. Okay, so yoga mat, those are typically made of neoprene, correct? So if it's neoprene, you can put HTV on it, but it kind of depends on what it's made out of, because some of them can be made out of like a foam that is not neoprene. Neoprene will take heat. A lot of those plasticky foams will not. So if it is a foam, which it should be able to tell you somewhere either on the packaging of where you bought it or maybe a tag, it will tell you what it's made out of, and then you can kind of decide on from there, because some of it takes some playing with. Like when I've done flip-flops in the past, they're made of like that rubbery foam, but they'll take some heat so you can apply HTV to them. So it kind of just depends. Okay, so the florals, all of the Deco Softs are 12 inches by 19 inches, or 19 3/4. So they're a pretty big piece, so you can get a lot out of it. Now let's see. What size design on a 4 t-shirt? Normally about 8, 8.5 inches, depends on the brand. Okay, so bioluminescent. So white worked really well. We also have a glow in the dark that would glow for it. Any of the neon colors work really well, that type of thing. So neon's always a good way to go. White, glow in the dark, or you can do a black design on a neon shirt. We did that and they looked really, really cool over at Pandora. Okay, no, I have not. Well, I have done sublimation on shirts, but I don't have a sublimation printer anymore. With as much as I have been asked about it, I am contemplating getting an inexpensive one to do some tutorials with. So maybe it kind of depends, because sublimation is a tricky thing to do. Well, it depends on your personal preference. Like, I much prefer a higher quality shirt. But if you're plain and you're not sure what you're doing, you could definitely easily go to Hobby Lobby, Joann, Michaels, and get the $3 Gildan shirts. They work just fine. Keswick, England. So you're from England. My brother-in-law was stationed over there when he was in the Air Force. Haven't ever been overseas yet, but I would really like to. Yes, neon shirts work beautifully. We did neon green with, I've got pictures on Instagram, but we did the Animal Kingdom Mickey head where it had the animals that went around it, and it looks really, really cool. Okay, so you have difficulty coming up with new stuff. Well, for me, you kind of have to watch a lot of what's going on in trends and looking at not just Pinterest, but other clothing companies and seeing what is coming out, what colors are popular, those types of things. And that kind of gives you a jumping off point. Now, but you also have to think about your market as well, because like here in Southeast Texas, you know, I love California shirts, not going to go over real well here. So you kind of have to think about that. And here in the South, we love anything with monograms, and anything with, like, if you're in Texas, you love anything with the state of Texas on it. Let's see. Hold on, we got to delete something. There we go. Granimals. I haven't tried them, but I'm sure. But see, for me, if you're not doing bulk like I do, going, and I still, even to this day, like if I'm at Walmart, Target, wherever, and I see some cute blanks, I will always pick them up and see how it goes. I've done lots and lots of things like that. Yes, okay, so our doormat is over there now. It is still has all the paint on it. It looks really, really good. The only issue that I've had with it is when we had the hurricane, we had some water, so it's not as tan as it was. But other than that, yeah, I mean, you can still see the paint and all that fun kind of stuff. Yes, monograms everywhere. If you're from the South, you know. If it's not glued down, it's going to get a monogram on it. I do have some admins on here, so I'm not sure what's going on, but sometimes they slip through the cracks, so who knows? There we go. Let's see. Anyways, well, thank you. I mean, we do. I don't know if people realize how much effort and time I try to put into making sure the videos are good and that y'all are actually learning something. Because sometimes, you know, whenever we're doing stuff like yesterday's video, you know, I get so many questions over certain things. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll just do a talking video where I kind of explain how things work. Because, you know, I get emails and Facebook messages and stuff like that all the time. Like, I followed your video, but it didn't work the same for me. But sometimes it depends on what you're using and how you're trying to do it, if it's going to work the same as what I did. North Carolina. My husband's aunt Laquita, her and her husband live in Boone, North Carolina. So it's absolutely gorgeous in North Carolina. They actually have seasons there. Here in Southeast Texas, we really don't. You know, we have a week of winter and then we have summer. Like today, it's 90 degrees. So it's really freaking hot outside. And it's April. So just imagine what it's going to be like in June and September. Virginia. So no, I really don't have a chart that recommends what vinyls for what materials, because sometimes, okay, so the best way I can kind of explain like my process of choosing vinyls and stuff like that is I like to play with things. Like I'll get something and I'm like, ooh, that vinyl will look good on it. Well, this is plastic. Will this HTV stick to it? We'll test it out and see. So that's kind of how it goes. Yes, 90 degrees. It is very, 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 very hot outside. I mean, think about it. This is April. So one day it snowed and then 70 degrees the next. We're lucky if we see flurries. I can't think of the last time snow actually stuck to the ground for more than like 30 minutes. Oh, I'm glad your first t-shirt came out really good. Let's see. Okay, so whenever I do a giveaway, like the scrap box, you comment on the video, make sure you're subscribed. For like the Easter basket giveaway, we did just and I have a random comment picker that takes and decides who the winner is, because that's the only way I can do it fair whenever we get so many comments and things like that. So right now the thermostat in here is set to 73 degrees, but it kind of depends. I am a cold-natured person except for when I sleep. So I typically during the day, I keep the temperature around 73, 74 degrees, depending on how I'm feeling. But at night, I keep it on like 69, 70 degrees, and that's comfortable for me to sleep. Yeah, South Carolina weather's bipolar. Trust me, so is Texas. From Tampa. Y'all know I'm in Florida. I love Florida. Eventually, I will be back in living in Florida. I love, love, love Florida. But as you can see, we got a new background set up. I ordered a tablecloth off of Amazon, and it's champagne sequin. And the tablecloths work really good for using for backdrops. Okay, so whenever we organize files, typically what we do is we set up categories, whether it be animals, design elements, things like that. So under like the animal categories, we'll have cat, we'll have dog, that type of thing. So that way we can kind of keep everything organized and see what designs we have, because I have a ton. So that's the easiest way, is kind of set up and either do it like on an external hard drive or make sure you have backup copies of it, but set it up like before you even start sorting your files. Set up a category for animals, for design elements, for flowers, for Mother's Day, that kind of thing. And then you can take and sort them out, so it makes it easier for you. Well, yeah, see, you get a season all in one day. And see, Houston is only an hour and a half away from us, so we get Houston weather a lot. Do I do any events in my local area? Typically, I mean, we'll do like trunk or treat, that type of thing, but not really a whole lot of events. I have a storefront, so that makes it a little bit easier. And I've been in business a long time, so people know who I am and where I am. So that makes it really easy. So that's kind of my thing. But in today's time, social media is your friend, and learning how to post on social media, posting good pictures, that type of thing will definitely help with advertising. Make sure in contests, having people share things like that are always good, so people know who you are. So remember, if y'all see a post that you like any of my videos, share it to your groups that you're in, like your silhouette groups, your Cricut groups. That all just helps us grow. And the more I grow, the more I can do for y'all. Oh, I'm glad you love the Anchor Kit. That file, it was my first real hand-drawn image that I did. And it took a long time, and that is like my favorite, and it is our best-selling file on our website. So that makes me feel so good because, as I said, I hand drew that, and I am not an artist by any means, not for that type of thing, but I did it. Let's see. I'm glad you learned a lot from me. Let's see. Yes, watermark your images. Like if I'm sending a customer approved, I watermark my images. But a lot of times, like my SVGs and stuff like that, the things that I'm posting online, those are for sale. I don't mind not posting a watermark on it. You know, if someone takes it, they take it. I mean, I can't stop anyone from doing it, so. Yes, he's trying to read along all the comments as well. Well, I'm glad you like when we do our live videos. Let's see. Jeremy, I am definitely a believer in God, but I'm not sure if your posts are the most appropriate. Okay, so if it asks for your tax ID, just put in 0. You don't have to be a business to order from our website. Some people don't realize that, and I'm not exactly sure why that does that, but I guess if for people who do have a tax ID, so they don't get charged tax. They all cut the same. I mean, they all have, like, if you use the mat with it, it is a 12-inch wide area. You can take and use roll vinyl and cut it a little bit wider, but most of the time it's a 12-inch for the Cricut, the Silhouette, the Brother Scan and Cut. So yeah, I mean, I completely understand. We tried for a while to watermark stuff, but it takes a lot of time, and for me, I mean, people are going to, even if they don't take and can't trace out your designs anyway, which is harder when you're taking a picture of a shirt, just to let you know. But they can take and copy the words and things like that. So, I mean, everybody gets inspiration from somewhere. Okay, so I completely understand that. Like, if y'all don't know, and I've said this many times in videos and things like that, like if you look at my videos, that's why there's mistakes in editing and things like that. I cannot watch one of my videos through completely. I don't like to see myself on camera, but I know that posting it helps my business. Posting pictures on Instagram and things like that. People want to see my face. So you kind of just got to suck it up and say, okay, I'm going to be out there. You want people to know who you are, because a lot of times whenever it becomes to business and things like that, you do better when people have a face to go along with. They have more of a connection with you. Let's see. So let's see. Yes, I have not done sublimation on this channel, but we have talked about doing it. So we shall see how that goes. Oh, yes, we are going to do some more home decor, especially as we're coming up on wedding season. There's going to be some fun stuff because there are so many different things involved in wedding season, being able to make gifts, show how to do decor for the wedding ceremony itself. So it will be very, very fun. Well, thank you for saying that I'm great on camera. Sometimes I feel like I am not, but you know, I still do it. It's weird. Like I've been doing this now a little over 2 years, and it's still like nerve-wracking. Let's see, Donna, they should be checking their emails to kind of see what's going on. I'm not sure. Make sure that you logged into your account, because sometimes that can mess with things, or there could have been an error at the time when you were trying to place the order on why it's getting kicked out, because sometimes they do maintenance on the website and then it's kind of weird. Okay, so my favorite type of shirts, as most of y'all know, is Bella and Canvas. They're my tried and true. To me, they have the best quality as far as materials, and they definitely have a good color range as far as they keep up with what's trendy. Let's see. So yeah, as I said, I'm considering doing the sublimation. I'm not sure yet. There is an ISS show, which is the Imprinted Sportswear show in Houston in May, I think. So it'll be before we go to California. So we shall see how it goes. You can find that brand of shirts on my website, but there's also Amazon, different places like that. I order directly from the manufacturer. Let's see. You're not late, Cassie or Cassandra. Every time I see the name Cassandra, I have a friend that's named Cassandra, and she likes to go by Cassie, so that's typically what I say. Sublimation on, okay, so sublimation on dark. No, not really, because the way that sublimation actually works is, and I've done sublimation before, I just don't have a sublimation printer at this point. You have to use either a 50-50 or 100% polyester. The 100% polyester typically is going to have a more vibrant design, but you have to use light colors with it because, one, it does not have a white ink, and it turns the ink into a gas, so it bonds with the fabric. So if you're doing it on a dark shirt, since there's no white in it, it's not going to take and adhere where you can see it. So I don't know of a way to do sublimation on dark unless you have a sublimation transfer that you can put a base on, which at this point I don't know of. What graphic program do I use? Typically for designing, I use Corel Draw. I use also Inkscape a little bit for tutorial purposes. My artist here, Brandy, she uses Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. Okay, so what machine do I think is best? I use my Cricut the most, but I design my SVGs outside of the program. If you're looking for a machine that you can design more in, Silhouette is really good. Brother Scan and Cut, you can do more as far as designing goes. Okay, so Specialty Materials has it's not really a printable vinyl. Okay, so the thing is, whenever it's a printable transfer, unless you actually have like we have a Roland Eco Solvent. We also have an HP latex printer that will actually print on vinyl that's printable vinyl made by Specialty Materials or made by Caesar, those types of things, which you have to have special inks to do. It's a transfer that you're printing on. Because, as I said, vinyl takes a specific type of ink to be able to print on it. But Specialty Materials, I like their transfer paper as much as I can like one. Cricut's not bad, but it is not super vibrant. I tried the Avery one, didn't care for it, and was not a fan of, there was another one, I cannot think of what it's called, but there was another one that I tried out that I really did not like. Okay, so application fluid is awesome. If you're doing a decal on a curved surface, you're doing a big decal that you're not wanting bubbles with, application fluid kind of gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So you can move your design around, and then once it dries, you can pull off your transfer tape and you will have no issue. But it's there to give you a little bit of wiggle room, plus it helps with bubbles. Janice asked if you were ready for summer break.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, no, he's excited for summer. But right now they're in the middle of STAR testing, which is kind of an odd thing. It's their standardized testing, which I am not a big fan of standardized testing at least a little bit for schools. I think there are a lot better ways to tell if your kid's on track instead of pressuring them with tests that don't always tell you. Because if your kid struggles with remembering things, being book smart, doesn't mean that they don't have other talents. And they focus so much on those tests. I know they do in Texas, but I don't know how they are in other states. But they focus so much on those tests. And that's not the only thing that matters. You know, I remember back when I was in school, we had the TOS test, which was a standardized test. But we didn't spend all year being our main focus. And you didn't have to do remedial classes if you didn't do well on it. So, yes, and my teacher friends say the exact same thing. I mean, that's not how you judge. It's like Albert Einstein said. If you judge a goldfish by how well it could climb a tree, what is that going to say about the goldfish? But that doesn't mean that the goldfish can't swim well, you know? I think almost all of the states are into standardized testing. I think they have to be. That's how they get funding from the U.S. government, which is so silly in my opinion. Yes, and kids get so stressed about these tests, and it's so pushed towards them. I mean, Cameron has cried, literally cried, whenever he started 3rd grade, because that's the first year that they do standardized testing, because he was freaking out on the first day of school because of the test. Yes, and that, like Caden, my son that has Asperger's, he still has to take the standardized test. And to me, that is just, and like Nadia, she is so extremely artistic. She has a little bit of learning disabilities. She has a problem with her short-term memory and her long-term memory. So she struggled in school with those types of things, with your basics things, but anything that was artistic, she excelled at. So that's how I feel about it. Well, you don't have to do a business with this. You can take and use however you want. Okay, so let me see. Someone wants me to stand up so you can see my shirt. It's a little wrinkled right now for me sitting down with it on, especially with the heat around here. But looks good everywhere else. And if you get your shirt where it gets wrinkled like that, because this one hasn't been washed yet, so it hasn't softened up as much. But yeah. So you're an Aspie mom too. So you know how it is. I mean, the kids, all kids are completely different. They all excel at different things. And you have to realize they're all so, I don't want to say different, but each child has the things that they're good at and the things that they're not. So, do I have a picture of my storefront? Actually, I have a couple of different videos, if you look back on my channel, of doing storefront tours. What the new side, whenever we've remodeled and did the new side, what the old side looked like, things like that. So you can take and go back and reference those things. Because most of the time, what y'all see is my studio crafting area, because, I mean, that's where I spend 99% of the time. I need to do more of the states, and that's one of the things we have talked about doing, is adding more state designs other than just Texas. And I would like to actually do some with some other countries, because what's funny is I have a lot of people who watch over in Australia and England and Canada, and to me that's always odd, because I'm like, you're listening to this little Southern girl with her Texas twang. Oh no, if you came by the shop, if I'm here, I definitely try to meet people. Now, I am awkward in person, just to let you know. And I will definitely tell y'all this. I mean, I've said this before, like, I get real bad social anxiety. If you see me on like Instagram and things like that, 99% of the time we are spending time with our kids, my mother and father-in-law, my sister-in-law, family. I don't do well with people. I try. It's just I'm so socially awkward with that. It's like I don't know how to deal with people. So I'm trying though. Okay, so shelf life on vinyl, it kind of depends. The way that vinyl works is if there is heat, humidity, those things can affect the lifespan of it. Like if it gets too hot, it can mess with the adhesion of regular vinyl. So that's part of it is kind of, I guess, the best way to explain it. Oh, I love all my Aussies that are watching me. See, and I know that there are a lot of other countries that have much better education systems than the United States. Finland, those types of things. They take into account that kids are different. They take into account that social skills are important. That is important. Let's see. Yeah, see, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm very quiet. And y'all may not believe this, but I am actually very quiet when I meet people. Like, I'll go to events and things like that with my husband for his work that he has to. And people are like, oh, hi. I know, like I watch you or whatever. And I'm like, I still don't know how to react to that. That I have people who are fans. So, I mean, that's kind of crazy to me. Okay, so Oracal 651 can be very tricky when you're working with small, intricate letters. So sometimes you have to play with it and use like a washi tape setting and do a double cut. So part of it is playing around with that and seeing which setting works the best. Thank you, Joy. I love this shirt. I love this vinyl. Like, I cannot wait to play with this. I have the perfect design in mind for this, and I can't wait to mix it with the black one. Like, and that's what I want y'all to realize. It's like, if for y'all get excited about it, I get super excited about it too. Like, they're so much fun. Yeah, it's like people who are like, you're so wonderful, you're so great. And I'm like, I'm not, I'm just average. I am a wife, a mom, those are the things. Like, this stuff is great. I mean, I love all of y'all. Y'all are very, very important to me. But, dealing with him and my dogs and my husband are like, make me really happy, I guess. So we are going to be doing Shazam this weekend. So I'm trying to consider if I want to make a Disney design or if we should do a Shazam shirt for this weekend. Because I know for sure I want to do an Avengers shirt whenever it comes closer to Avengers Endgame. Because we are big Disney fans and we love the Marvel movies. Okay, so reflective vinyl is very tricky. It is very thick and almost gummy. So a lot of times you have to go, like if I'm doing it on my Cricut, I'll go the notch above regular adhesive, or I'll change the pressure to more pressure when I'm cutting it because it's thicker. Okay, so my t-shirt guide is available on my website, which is in the description box, which is just www.cuttincorners, Cuttin, Cuttin, Corners, Corners, Vinyl, Vinyl.com. I have had people ask me for my autograph, and that's weird. There are people who, whenever they order something, they want me to send my autograph with it, and that's like kind of weird. Yes, and you can notice, especially like whenever I am like the older videos, like when I first started, every other word was so. I've gotten better at talking on camera, but I'm still very, very awkward. And I do try to be better. I mean, y'all, what I post, whether it be stuff on YouTube, stuff on Facebook, you know, everything is kind of an open book. Like, I have nothing to hide. There are things that are important to me, kids' education. I've always been involved in PTA, those types of things. But, sorry, I didn't mean to scratch you. He's in my way, and I'm a hand talker. But well, as I said, sometimes it kind of, each machine, each blade is different. Sometimes, like, and anybody who's done this for a long time will tell you, some days you'll use your machine and it's the same settings you have always used and nothing wants to work right. Yes, you can use Stephanie, you can use the t-shirt guide with your easy press. What I do is take, and I have a 15 by 24 inch, I'm pointing over where it is, Steady Betty. So I use my 15-inch guide because that's what I lay my shirts out on. Yes, I did a Mother's Day video on how to do like the mom shirt with the kids' names in it using the MF I Love glitter font and showing that the different glyphs were actually like numbers and like parentheses and things like it was open parentheses to show how to add the extra images.
The glitters used are soft after it's done. That's just only because it's only been a few steps.
Well, all the glitters are going to be like that. I mean, for the most part, because they have a thicker base to them, to make sure that the glitter actually stays on after washing. It is always stiff. Like, I haven't ever found that it softens up after several washings. I wish it did. We are going to be doing some off the mat projects too, so we're getting to that. The thing is, as I said, with the way that our video schedule is going right now, is back to basics. So showing all 3 machines that I have on how to go from this step to this step, so that way you can build and learn more designing process. Well, like, it depends on your press or how you're pressing it. Like, because my press right there is a 16-inch by 20-inch. I load my shirt on and I make sure, fiddling with my fingers, that the side seams are correct. Check the neck, but those are not always straight. Check and make sure the shoulder seams are, and then line that up because that makes it into a square. So it makes it a little bit easier to use. Let's see. Do you make shirts using vinyl in your store? It's what I want to do, but a lot of info is out there, print on demand. Okay, so we do custom jobs. So we don't have a lot of stuff that's ready-made to pick up, because that's not where I want to keep stock. To me, it's easier to stock vinyl and do things that are custom jobs on demand. So I hope that helps you. But yeah, that kind of depends. I mean, if you're wanting to start doing like a boutique style business, that is so competitive, and because people will buy bulk screen printed shirts, which are always going to be cheaper than doing it with vinyl. So hopefully that helps. Thank you, Catherine. To me, this is kind of difficult. You make money in this type of business. I'm struggling every day. Yes, I make money at this business. I've been doing it a long time. I make good money at this business. I mean, we have employees. I have to. I mean, I have a full staff of people that I have to pay every single week. So yes, we have to. But a lot of it is getting your name out there and remembering you don't have to be as cheap as everybody else. Know your worth. So pattern HTV, I make my own patterns. So we print those in-house. Thank you, Donnie. Yes, Steady Betty. Cameron, go over there by the window and grab the gray thing. Okay, so Steady Betty, I bought it at the Houston International Quilt Show. Such a cool thing if you've never been. Even if you don't quilt, there are so many cool things for crafters. Love going there. Okay, so this is a Steady Betty. You can find them on steadybetty.com. It is like this foamy material that will hold your shirt in place. And this one I have is a 15 inch by 24 inch. And it's firm, so you can use your Cricut Easy Press with it. But the size of it's really good for laying out your adult size t-shirts as well. And since it has this foamy stuff on it, it makes it where your fabric doesn't move. It's actually what they made it for was people who are ironing together and smoothing out seams for quilting. But I thought, and I was like, oh, that would work great with my Easy Press. So I purchased it. They're a little expensive, but I've had this one a year and a half. And I mean, it still looks brand new and I've used it a ton. This is my favorite thing to use. Okay, so when I print my own vinyl, I have a Roland Eco Solvent printer, and then we also have an HP latex printer. Now, vinyl printers are extremely expensive. I think the low end of them, you're looking at about $5,000, and that's for a small one. So let's see what I was wearing yesterday. No, the shirt, the Mama Sita shirt came from Baubles and Bliss. I have a link in the description box. It is an affiliate code. It is a little boutique across the street from us, and I absolutely adore them. I go over there all the time. And I don't make every single shirt I wear. I buy stuff from there because I like to have a large wardrobe and change things, because if you see me wearing the same outfit 30 times in a video, like, to me, that's kind of boring. Plus, I'm a collector of things. Like, if you've seen, like, whenever I do my office tour, you will see I hoard makeup. I have God only knows how many pairs of shoes, shirts. I mean, like, whenever I take and change seasons on clothing, a lot of times I will have 4 or 5 bags of shirts and things like that. So, just to let you know. But I have them linked in the description box. I purchased quite a bit of stuff from there. They sell the Irmish bracelets, which I absolutely adore. They're like the beaded ones. I'm not wearing any today. But they also have a lot of really cute shirts. And a lot of times they're like $30 or so, which sounds high, but if you're sitting there having to design it out, use all the different colors, it's cheaper for me to go buy it than it is to make it. And then they use high quality shirts. They use the Bellin canvas and the next level as well. So hopefully that helps. Well, okay, so for our store, when we do our custom shirts, we use vinyl, but we also screen print. We have a M&R automatic press, an M&R manual press for screen printing. That's how we do bulk orders, big bulk orders. So we also screen print. I have a Brother direct to garment that prints shirts like this. So the ink is on the shirt itself. We also have a laser printer that prints transparencies that way. So no, I don't use just vinyl for custom shirts. It kind of just depends on what the job is, how many colors, what the stock of them is. So it kind of just depends on that. And typically when we're doing screen printed shirts, Gildan shirts are what we use for screen printing, unless someone wants a higher quality shirt, because for big bulky orders like that are made for giveaways and things like that. People typically want the cheapest possible. Let's see, make an Eeyore shirt. We are going to be making an Eeyore shirt. Eeyore, if you haven't noticed, whenever I've done office tours, is he's my favorite Winnie the Pooh character and one of my favorite Disney characters. I relate to Eeyore a lot. I don't know why, because I'm not very monotoned and depressed sounding, but like he is my spirit animal. I adore Eeyore. So we will definitely be doing that. Vinyl with llamas. I don't know. I have to look. We have so many prints on there now. It's kind of crazy. Yes. Thank you, Amanda. Bella and Canvas are my favorite. No, I am a hoarder. I will gladly admit that I'm a hoarder. Like, I have so much stuff. Like, there are so many different things I like to collect. And I will be the first person. Like, I love my makeup, especially eyeshadow palettes. I have a ton. But I give away a lot. I really haven't purchased a lot this year, but I love, love, love my... Cameron's laughing at me because he looks at my makeup collection and thinks that it's weird. I collect makeup brushes as well. I have like 500 makeup brushes, which is ridiculous, but I love makeup brushes. Shoes, ton of those. Don't have a lot of high heels. I wear wedges and things like that. I fell a few years ago and hurt my ankle, so wearing regular heels don't work very well. But purses, have a lot of those. I have a lot of the Disney, Dooney, and Burks. I have 3 or 4 or 5 pieces, something like that from that. I have some of the Disney and Coach. I especially love that I have some Disney and Kate Spade. I have some regular Kate Spade, some regular Coach, some regular Michael Kors. I typically, as far as handbags go, my husband buys them for me as gifts, so I have a rather large collection of that. Okay, so medium tack. What's your foolproof way of using medium tack? Use your medium tack with a vinyl what kind of vinyl are you using with? Are you using it with a 631? Are you using it with a 651? So that kind of depends. But if you're having a lot of problems with it releasing, take and unsticky your tape. It sounds weird, but you can take your transfer tape and put it on your skin or put it on your shirt. That'll help lose some of the tackiness, which makes it a little bit easier to release your vinyl from. And like, I don't have any pieces hanging up right now, but I reuse transfer tape. Like, I have no shame in it. I think it's ridiculous to use a brand new piece every single time you're doing like a custom job, unless you're actually doing a decal. Let's see. I'm glad you love him. He's my baby. Let's see. What's a foolproof? Okay, so I'd answered that one. Got your wooden pick yesterday. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you love your wooden pick. But it is almost 6 o'clock, so we've been on here for almost an hour. I have to go get ready for workout. We do our CrossFit at 6:30 every day. So we will see y'all in tomorrow's video. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Remember, this is every single Tuesday. Don't forget to check out all of my social medias, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Join our Cuttin Corners family. Don't forget to check out my second channel, which is just Betsy Go Try. I do all my makeup stuff there. Keto and CrossFit. Also crafting for Disney. Anything else I'm forgetting?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. So we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.